Hello, we're live. Everybody's still in Katja's stream, but I thought I just would start so long. I did invite Olga to come for a chat, but I have a sneaking suspicion she is busy with something. Hi, Anamika. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I thought I would just wait a few minutes because I've started 3 minutes early. I always like to over prepare, so because it's always just a bit freaky in case things don't like go according to plan. But because we had to actually switch off our internet earlier and switch it back on, so I'm hoping that my internet will behave. I think it could be because we had a thunderstorm earlier. So, and if you've been watching Katja's live, you'll know that she's moaning about the heat. Well, we're also moaning about the heat over here. My friends in Cape Town and South Africa are freezing cold. They've had snow on Table Mountain. I saw photographs of my friends' frozen water feature in Joburg. So I know they're cold and we're frying. Freeze or fry. No happy medium. I must admit I'm more of a winter girl and an autumn and spring person because because I've only been in Berlin, this is my second summer. I was really rather surprised at the heat. Not so much the heat, but the humidity. I was very surprised about that. But anyway, we will get going. So I have, hi Graham. Yes, Cape Town is freezing. Never satisfied. I must admit, yeah. Yeah. As I said, I'm more of a winter girl, so thankfully here it's colder for longer than it is hot. We have a month of this and I can survive. So I have got on my desk, I'm going to be art journaling today. And I'm using this stencil, which is KSTDQ24. If I haven't mixed up my packaging, I really should actually put my numbers of my stencils on my stencil. Because yeah, I keep all my stencils in a flip file. So I've got them in an A4 flip file like this. But periodically, I take them out, use them, they get washed. It's a while before I put them back, and then they don't always go back with the same packaging. Hello, Nikki. Disorganized Crafters is Nikki. So yes, so I think that's what this one's thing is. So I've decided, I bought the stencil because I'm mad about cats, and I have a cat called Marmalade, who everybody knows online as the supervisor. He is fast asleep on the couch. So I've decided I really want to use the stencil. I bought it at Midlibra a while ago, and then I found in my stash, and I hope it's not too shiny. I'm going to lift it up. No, we have lights on, and therefore it is shining. So I found this rice paper, also of course by Stamperia, with the cat on, and then to go with it I've got this standard page. Well, it's just a blank page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by using my collage gel. I call it collage because there's the G and the E, so just playing with words. Hi Priscilla, Karen. Yep, so I'm going to start off by gluing my rice paper on, and then I'm going to stencil, and then I've got, because I kind of like to work in a theme, if you've ever watched any of my projects before. And so I have the cat theme going on with my stencil and the cat on my rice paper. And then in the background of this rice paper is letters and stamps and sort of postage things. So I have gone through all my paper pads, and I've got this round the world paper pack, and it's got this rather gorgeous little envelope that you can cut out, and these postcards. So I will probably add those to my page somewhere. And then I also have some other stencils that I'm probably going to add, but we'll just see how we do for time, because we only have an hour. I say only because when we pay it up, we have an hour and a half. So because it is summer here and everybody is still very busy, we have less and less people participating in these hops at the moment. Of course, while it was lockdown, we were all stuck at home, so we couldn't really go anywhere or do anything. So there we go. Now the glare's gone because I've taken it out of the packaging. Maybe I should have done that sooner. Anyway, there we go. And I'm hoping, so this is an art journal that I have started a while ago. I'm just going to flip through it just to show you all my different pages. And I do all sorts of things with collage, and like this is a page that I've started and not carried on with. I've just blotted a stencil there. And so I go, some of them are finished, some of them are there is a page here somewhere, and I often glue two pages together, or like here I've got paper on it, so it's quite thick. Somewhere here is a page that I thought I might work on, but if I want to add glue, there you see, like that's a background ready to go. And then here I've blotted something, but this is quite rough. And then here you can't really see it, but I've got texture paste. Again, I was cleaning a stencil, so I've just blotted it there. And then, oh, here's one that I did for Dreamwood Butterfly. So I found a blank page in between, and I've decided that this would work really well. And the way I'm going to lay it out is, I always like, if I'm working with photographs or images, things to look in towards the middle of the page. Hi, Elizabeth. So I'm just probably going to have to, actually, no, it's not blowing down here. I've got a little mini fan above me over there to blow on my face so that I don't expire from heat and self-combust, because really the humidity is making me feel like I'm going to self-combust. So what I think I'm going to do is, because it is so hot, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to give a good coat of glue and bring it down. And I'm going to do it section by section, because I'm quite convinced that no matter how fast I paint, it is going to start drying faster than I can actually use a paintbrush. So let's just get this, make sure that it's in the middle, and that it will, there we go. So I'm just gonna start there. Are we slightly skewed? Let's see. It's still wet enough to shift it. There we go. Not quite so much. That's a bit extreme. Okay, so I've got that going. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it up to where I last had glue and just keep going. So I'm going to do it section by section in this heat. In winter, that's not such a problem. You have all the time in the world. I mean, my flat is heated in winter. In fact, I'm really lucky. I'm the ground floor, so we don't even put our heating on in winter. That's how warm it is in my flat. Okay, brush in my mouth, so I sound like I'm talking strange, sorry. And there we go. Let's just get the last bit glued down. Always remember to glue. I'm going to bump this up a bit so you can see the bottom of my page. I've got my camera set up really close so that you can see the detail, but it does mean that I will go on and off screen. Okay, there we go. So now we have the first page glued, and make sure that all the edges are glued. Perfect. Let's shift back into screen, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with this piece of paper. So yes, this is the Collage gel. I absolutely love it, Nikki. It is just the best thing since sliced cheese. Not that you use sliced cheese in crafting, but anyway. I really, really enjoy this glue. Oops! It is quite efficient, as you can see there, where I messed and I spread it out. It is, sorry, I just don't want to glue my pages together, so I'm just going to lift this one. It is a lovely clear glue that dries really, really nice and quickly. It is a very wet glue, but it doesn't seem to cause too much bubbling of the paper. It still does, because like you can see, my page is curling here. Paper is made with water in it, so when paper gets wet, it naturally wants to curl, especially if you only wet it on one side, because you are basically reactivating the fibers and swelling the fibers just on one side of the paper. So that's why paper bends and curls and does all sorts of strange things. But I do find that I really enjoy this particular glue. It is a nice clear collage glue. Stamperia did come out with a new glue for paperwork that Dorota likes very much, and I do like that one too, but that is a white glue. To start with, it does dry clear, but I just find that I really rather enjoy this one. It's a bit, yeah, it's gel-ish. It's not too runny, it's not too watery, it's like the perfect consistency. And again, I'm just going to bump up so that you can see the edges of my paper. Some of these papers are so gorgeous. I mean, I almost feel like I could just glue these on and ta-da, done. Total cheat. There we go. Just using my damp brush to make sure that I've got glue everywhere. There we go. And how's that for a very quick and easy beginning? So yes, there's a bird somewhere for the cat to look at. I just leave that on there and just pop that on top. I'm going to blow dry this quickly. For those of you that, it's a quiet heat gun, but for those of you that have headphones, you might just want to turn it off. Now, I have butterflies on the other side. That should definitely keep the cat busy. I have used the collar glue on the normal papers. That also works just as well. While I'm using this hand to dry, let me just get the other, spin my trolley around and find my other glue. This is the glue I was talking about, the new craft glue, the mixed media craft glue. It is a white glue. It's like almost like a thin wood glue. So yes, the collar gel is fabulous for using on paper. It does dry a little bit shiny. So where I've got some here on my cat, I'm just spreading it out so it's a little bit matte, and I'm just lifting my paper so that the heat can go through it. And in fact, I'm going to heat from the other side. You guys saw me do this page a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, because we're only streaming every second week at the moment. So what is the name of the notebook? I am working in, I call it my chicken book. It's this logo of a chicken. Oh, crumbs. It's just an art journal. You can work in any art journal, Elizabeth. I have quite a few art journals. I just like a thick-ish paper, and if I can, this paper is what's called hot pressed. So you get different paper finishes, and so the manila tags that Tim Holtz works on is a hot press finish, as far as I understand. It's a long time since I researched all of that, and how the paper is finished off when it goes over a great big hot drum, it seals the paper, so then you don't get as much bleeding. So yes, it is a nice paper, and I think it's 190 grams, so it's quite a nice thickness. It's a nice weight of paper. The only thing is, with the stitching here, let me just show you, quite often it bleeds through. If I've been using a lot of sprays, like here, it will bleed through in there. So you just have to be careful not to overload the center when you're using sprays, to let it seep through and sit there for too long, because I do find that it seeps through the stitching. But yes, Karen, you need to want the Collage gel or the craft glue. The Stamperia glues, I must admit, there isn't a product that I don't like by Stamperia. And I'm not saying that just because I'm one of their teachers. I absolutely love their products. There we go. Right. So that's enough drying, because it's already 8:15 and we need to get going. Oh, there's a little bit of a sticky patch on that page. I'm just going to dry there a little bit more. Nikki, I don't think I made you a mod. Oh, I must make Nikki a mod, so that she can post links to her store. Nikki has a store in the States. Let me just see if I can do that quickly. No, I don't want to put. I didn't know you could do that. Put user in timeout. Block user. No, I don't want to do that. I want to right click. Oh, I'm in. Oh, flip. I'm in I'm streaming via StreamYard. Let me just hop into YouTube. Sorry, people. I'm just doing a little bit of admin here. Go to my channel. Oh, okay. Go to myself and find the chat. And oh, Disorganized Crafter. Yes, you are a mod. So I can see you are in mod. So Nikki, please feel welcome to put links to your shop, so that people can find stuff, because I know people get very frustrated not being able to buy stuff, and if Nikki doesn't have it, I know she's very good at organizing it. So yeah. No need to put you in timeout. Right, so now I've got my pages stuck. Next trick is to decide what I'm going to put where. So I really like this cat's face. So I want to, the life is better with cats, I think I'm going to put as a title up there, but I'm going to put my cat's face down here. And I've got this tape that I use all the time. It's a bit like Post-it notes on a whole roll. I got it at the local art shop. So I'm just going to stick that still for myself so that I am holding it in place so that I have some hands free. And then I'm going to get some of my paints out. So I've got these Allegro paints in Biscotto, which is cookie in English, and Terre d'Ombre, which is dark brown. I think I'm probably going to work with those two colors. And what I'm just going to do is I'm going to grab some old packaging. There were some holes in the packaging. Just make sure I don't put it on the holes. And I'm going to put a couple of drops of paint on there to work. I'm just lazy. I have a palette somewhere. Being an artist, I have lots of palettes, but I hate cleaning them. So it's much easier if you mess on here. Okay, and then I'm going to use one of Stamperia's little stencil brushes. So a stencil brush is basically, they come in lots of different sizes. A stencil brush is a flat topped brush so that you have area here so that you are tapping this flat area against your stencil. And the trick when you're stenciling is to not use too much paint. If it's going too quickly, you are using too much paint, which means it will bleed underneath and you won't get a nice crisp image. So, yes, Nikki saying if there's anything that anybody wants, she will order. You don't clean them, this stuff dries quite hard. It has to be thick enough, Oriana, for them to peel off. And it also depends on the plastic of your stencil, I discovered, because when I was an art teacher in Cape Town, I'm starting with my lighter color. I always work light to dark. When I was an art teacher in Cape Town, my students' palettes there were studio palettes, and then each student had their own palette, and it was up to the student to maintain their own cleanliness. You know, some people don't mind and they just work on top of mess, and other people like perfectly clean palettes every time they start. So I discovered that there are different types of plastic in these palettes, and some of them let the colors go really nicely, and others hang onto it like, I don't know, like the proverbial underneath your shoe. Really, some of them were impossible to clean. So what you do have to be careful of is just not to go over the top. And seeing as I am talking and not paying attention, I'm going to put a little bit of tape over there and a little bit of tape over there, because you know what it's like. You get distracted, and again, I'm putting some over this word so when I do his whiskers, I won't mess. Yes, because normally when I work, I'm quite quiet. I know Olga always teases me when I'm concentrating if we are working together, because sometimes I'll go to her place or she'll come to mine, and she always knows when I'm concentrating on something because I go quiet. But of course, in these live streams, one can't be quiet. Well, I guess I could. You guys could just, I don't know, put your own music on in the background. Yeah, so I'm just lazy. The other thing I sometimes do is I put your kitchen cling wrap, you know, that cling film that you use to cover your dishes of food and so on. I put that over a piece of cardboard, because if you want to save some of the paint, you can then just put another layer of cling wrap over the top. Saran wrap, I think it's called in the States. I have no idea what it's called here. I'm still using stuff I bought from South Africa, so I haven't needed to go and buy things like that. And then, or if you want to just throw it away, you can just I also have, there's tear off palettes. I have a tear off palette somewhere. I actually think it's with my fine art stuff. Those are also quite fun, because you can do what I'm doing now and just tear it off and throw it away. Right, I just want to show you, seeing as I've now stuck that up there, show you what my cat is looking like on here, and I think he's looking rather nice, but he's looking a bit like a stencil, so I'm going to pop that back down, and I want to shade it a little bit. So I'm going to grab some of this, and you'll notice I'm taking the excess off, and with this heat it's also drying really quickly. So I'm going to make him kind of dark from the outside in. That's dry already. Welcome to summer. I'm trying to do art. So we will have some dark there and coming in from the outside there. There's a little bit left on my thing. There we go. A little bit darker there. Okay. So, what colors are on this page? Maybe I should give him. Let's see what colors I've got here to give him different eye color. This turquoisey green goes quite nicely with a little bit of that. By the time it's mixed with the yellow, let's just see what happens if I add a little bit of green in his eyes. There we go. Greeny eyes. Okay. Get that off. Grab some. Oh, tons of roller towel here earlier. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yes, I am on Instagram. I do try to remember to post there. Okay. That's nice and dry. Let's see what my kitty's looking like now. Oh, he's looking quite cute. Okay. I'm quite happy with my cat, I think. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cat up to the top, and I'm going to do so that I link his eyes. I'm going to do the title, Life is Better with Cats, at the top of the page. So I'm going to just make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So I want my title up here. I'm going to be my plan is to do a bit of a rust effect, around the outside of my page later. So I don't want it too close to the top. And I'm just going to reuse this tape. That's the nice thing about this tape, is it's completely reusable. So you don't have to waste it. And I'm going to peel that off. And this time around, I'm now going to protect myself from the whiskers. And I am now going to protect the bottom of my page there. So I've pretty much dried. I know it looks dirty, but it is pretty dry. And I'm going to give myself another blob. Let's just get back in shot. Give myself another blob of paint over there on my plastic. And just make sure, because it would be me, there's a hole in the plastic over there. One that they've punched through, obviously, to make it, I don't know, kid friendly or product friendly or something. And so now I'm just using a tapping motion to get my paint through my stencil. And it would be my luck that I would put my blob of paint right in the hole, because, you know, that's just Murphy. Murphy and me. We're not always friends. Okay, so I've almost got my title in. How am I doing for time? 26 minutes gone already. Oh my word. How time flies when you're having fun. Ink, I do enjoy putting ink through stencils, but paint works really nicely if you are not excessive. So if you use a nice dry brush, like there we go, then it works really nicely. I have got a little basin of water right next to me. So I'm going to pop my stencil straight into the water, and the water has got a little bit of kitchen cleaning spray in it, you know, the degreaser. So I'm just going to pop it in there, push it under the water, there we go, because then that'll clean really quickly, because after I've been live, then I will go into the kitchen and I will clean that up. I'm just washing my brush. There we go, it's quite clean already. And I'm just going to wash my Collage brush while I'm chatting to you. So Anne, I'm not sure where you are based, but Nikki, Disorganized Crafter, can get it for you. Nikki, if you want to make a note I think it is KSTDQ24. I'm going to leave it like that for you to see. I hope you can see it. Or maybe I'll do that while I am washing my brush. Yes, I have a cat, and he is sleeping right now. His name is Marmalade, and he came with us from South Africa. He had to spend 3 months there in a cattery while he waited for his blood results for his rabies injections to come through, because we found out in the December that we had to be here on the 1st of March. So it was all a little bit mad, because it was a transfer through my husband's company. It was all a little bit mad. Sorry, I've just seen that there was a hair from my brush there, and I'm just gonna fix that. Yeah, so it was a little bit crazy leaving Cape Town. Yeah, he had to have his rabies shots, and he had to go into a cattery where he wasn't in one of those big cages for a long time. They had him actually, it was a lovely elderly couple who had him, and they had him in the house. In fact, I keep in touch with them because they fell in love with him. He is such a character. He talks all the time. Yeah, so there we go. We have our 2 kitties on the page. Let's get everything back into shot. Okay, so now I'm going to go through my little book, and oh, it keeps opening to that page. So I'm using from the Round the World, the 8x8 pad by Stamperia, and I'm going to cut out this little postcard envelope. So I'm afraid you have to sit and watch me fussy cutting, which most of you know is not my favorite, but most of this is straight edges, so it's quite manageable. I don't mind doing this kind of fussy cutting, but I'm not a great one for cutting out flowers with leaves and skinny little stems. That is so not my thing. But I'm quite happy to cut this out. And on the back of this is just a plain texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that on the outside and then have this lovely design on the inside, so it's a nice surprise when you open it. That's the plan. There we go, almost done. Snip that off. Norway. Okay. Yeah, we really are from all over the world during these hops. It's quite fabulous. I must say, although this COVID-19 is horrible, it has caused us all to come together on the crafting world, and some amazing friendships have been made, and it's really quite special. Okay, so now I want to fold this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ball stylus. On this one, it has got a pointy end and a ball end, and I'm just going to grab my foam mat that I use for cricking, and I'm going to grab a ruler. Yeah, I can cut. The die cuts are great. I do like the die cuts too. But I must say, if the shapes are not too arduous to cut, I don't mind cutting them. And I have to put this slightly below the line where I want it to score so that it will fold in the right place. So excuse me while I concentrate and I go a little bit quiet. There we go. Okay, so I want this to be on the outside, so there's a nice surprise for the person who opens it, which will be me, but because nobody really looks at my art journal. Or maybe I'll leave it like that. No, I'll fold that. Okay, so now of course we need some ink, brown ink, 50 shades of brown. Now, Nikki, you've been all over the world. Karen's saying, is there a place you haven't been? I also want to know. I guess that's the joy, one of the joys of being in an army environment. I know for kids it isn't always great because they struggle to make friends and keep those friends because everybody's always moving on. It is something that I was concerned about here when we moved here. I've put my son in an international school, mostly because he was already 15 or 14, turning 15 when we got here. So language, it's much easier to pick up a language when you're younger. So I was very concerned about him struggling with the German. So, but then my next concern was worrying about the fact that at an international school, of course, people are there because they move around a lot. So, okay, that's done. Egypt is in Africa. Yes, it is. Right. Where am I going to put this? Love letter to my cat. This paper's also nice. I don't want to cover it. That is a problem. That's what somebody else said to me. Stamperia's papers are all too nice to cut. That is a genuine problem. I love there's a little bow over there. Maybe I'll put it down here. I don't want to cover that bow, but I want to keep the weight of stuff kind of at the bottom. Yes, I think I'm going to put it there. Okay, commit, Belinda, commit. Let's use my extra strong glue. Yes, German is not an easy language to learn. And I must admit, COVID has somewhat destroyed my practicing. But I try and listen to I've got CDs that I bought when I was in South Africa. So I try and listen to them. There we go. That's so pretty. Okay, right. Except now we need a way to keep it. I suppose it will stay closed once the book has been closed for a while. Okay, remember not to lose my little nozzle. Close that. Right, so now that is dry. It dries so quickly in this heat too. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to stick on here. Wow, these postcards are so nice. But yes, it's so hard to want to cover something. Yes, and okay, so you're talking about verbs. I mean, yes, I speak English and I speak it well, but I can't. I mean, verbs and adjectives and nouns and things like that. And I think it's all the nouns have capital letters. So in the middle of sentences, things are all full of capital letters. And then, so if I use the word ich, which is I, then the word will end in an E that I need later on in the sentence. Yes, so while you are talking, your brain is trying to work out the logistics of the sentence, and oh yes, anyway, so I've got my son having private lessons because it just makes life easier. I think I'm going to keep these for something else. I like my little letter there. I need to find some way to keep that closed. I know what I've done before is I've punched little holes and I've made, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to just mark it. I have a pen. Let's hope the pen will work. How am I doing for time? 20 minutes. I've got 20 minutes left. Yes, I need to make a punch a hole there. Come on, pen. course, the one pen that's on my desk. I've probably been writing in paint. Fine. I will use a fine liner then. So I'm just trying to keep it straight. So I want a dot there and I want a dot there. I'm just going to run across my studio, which is a whole, 2 steps. And the other side here, little punch. So I've got these little punches. They had fancy, I think this is Viscars. It had fancy handles, but they all went funny. So what I'm doing is I'm just punching a hole on each side of where I'm going to cut, which is why I marked it so that I can see where I want to punch. And then I'm going to grab my teeny tiny cutting mat, pop that in there, and I'm going to cut a line across here. And why I made the little punch marks, punch holes, is so that it doesn't tear. When you bend it to be able to push your envelope top through, it's just a little bit of a trick that when you do that and you constantly opening and closing it, that doesn't keep tearing. It's just a little trick I learned. You've also been to Japan. I think we should do a world map around where once you've learned German, it's easier to learn Japanese. Good grief. I'm not even going to try that. I haven't got one language under my belt yet. So, okay. So now I've got that sorted. Now I want to do, it needs some sort of frame. It needs holding together. So I've decided I'm going to use the packaging that my papers came in and put it in there like so, and put it in there like so, because I want to make the edges of my paper kind of rusty. And I'm going to, for that, I'm going to use some of this, which I call Indian red oxide, and some of these colors that I still have left here. And I'm going to go back to using my stencil brush because it's on my desk, and why not? Hi Marlene, nice to see you here. Don't forget to give thumbs up, people. I always forget to remind people. I'm not very good at that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to start with Indian red oxide, and I'm going to tap it along the top, and kind of just give a bit of a mottled edge. And because I've got the fan going, of course, it's going to dry quite quickly. So what I want to do is I'm just going to do this top bit first, and I want them to kind of blend in places. So now I'm going into that dark brown and tapping that there too. I just wanted to kind of look like the edges have rusted. Last time, should I say, we were doing rust, and it kind of rubbed off. I've always liked rust. Katja was using gold and talking about gold. Right, last little bit. We want a little bit of this kind of yellowy color in there. Not everywhere. Right, it's not looking too bad. I think I'm going to need more brown. Definitely going to need more brown. Yeah, I want it to fade out into the page. How's that looking? A little bit too kind of organized. Right, we need more brown. Brown is on my desk. There, can you hear him in the background? He's woken up. Right, let's work on this. Ooh, got to be careful that I don't grab the mess and push it underneath, because I've got a finished page on that side. Right, a little bit of the red and oxide to the rust. The trick when you're doing this, if you're using a brush, is to keep remembering to turn your brush around, because otherwise your brush will leave its footprint, as I call it, which is quite funny seeing as I've got a cat on here. So you will land up with a very, so if you, I'm trying to do it here, if you do that, you're going to see each time where you've loaded the brush. So you'll notice as I'm tapping, I'm actually rotating the brush in my hand like that as I go, so that I don't get those like brush paw prints. I've got to be quite quick with this, because I don't want the paint to dry. I want it to blend in places. Okay, right, I think I'm going to just turn this round and use it there. There we go. Am I on the screen? Let's move up. There we go, so you can see the bottom. Don't want to put too much on the cat. Oh, come on. What have I got there? Something sticking. Right. So, oh, I don't want to cover that, so I'm going to be careful around there. This also hides where my paper didn't quite go straight on the edge. Some of the Indian red oxide, some of the yellow ochre. Perfect. Okay. Let's shift and do this side. Bring that back into screen. Wax on, wax off. Yes, very much one of those. No wax involved at all, just paint. So yes, I'm trying to blend the colors while they are still damp, because that just gives a little bit more of a realistic look. Oh, I can hear my cat trashing the couch. Bad cat. We give him treats so that he trashes his little scratchy pole thing, but the critter does love the couch under his paws. Okay, I need some more of this. Yes, do love Finnebear's waxes. And those are a case of more is more. Enough is just a little bit more. So here we go, almost done. I'm going to turn this round and push it up so you can see. Okay, how many minutes have I got? Oh, I've still got 15 minutes. Yay! Still got time. Breathe, just breathe. It's amazing. Sometimes time just disappears, and then other times suddenly you've got lots of it. Yay! Oh yes, thanks for remembering, Katja. Thumbs up. I always forget. I get so engrossed in what I'm doing and the conversation I'm having with myself and you guys. Me, myself, and I having a conversation. Oh, there's a... Yeah, I always say these new brushes shed like bad cats. So one needs to just soak them for a little bit, but don't soak brushes for too long, because the problem is then what happens is that the glue, which is up here, will release and it will let all your bristles go. You don't want that. Right, I need a little bit more of this ochre color. It's biscotti. Yes, I'm working, it's a Stamperia stencil, and I know Disorganized Crafter can get it. It is a current stencil. It is just the cutest thing. If you're a cat lover, you need to want to have this. Right, soften there, soften there. The nice thing with the Stamperia paints and their papers is that they have the same palette, color palette, so that they do mix and match rather nicely. Right, let's take that off so you can see what it looks like, and pull these. I can throw those away again. Right, let's get back into picture and see what you can see. A little bit more this way, a little bit more that way. It's like doing stuff in a mirror. Left is right and right is left. Okay, I'm just going to wash my brush. Yes, Stamperia have been closed for their summer holidays. They reopen on Monday. So you will be able to place orders with them this coming week. Right, what else is needed? I feel like there's a bit of a big open space there. And, okay, now it's time to get out. Now, where have I put it? You know, me and my Bermuda Triangle of my own creation. I had, my folder of stencils. Here it is. So now we're going to go through my stencils, because somewhere I have a whole lot. There we go. So as I was saying when I started this, I do like to create a theme. So I have got the postal theme going on, and I've got the cat theme going on. So maybe let's just see. So we've got the Eiffel Tower there, and it says Paris and New York, and that one also says Paris. So maybe we will have, I don't want to put it bang in the middle because that's just too obvious. I think I'm going to put it over there. And I'm going to go back to, oh, I got my stencil cover on the paint. Of course I did. Put it where it should be, then you won't have that problem. Okay, so now I'm going to, again, just protect that. I'm just reusing this. I'm going to protect there, and I'm going to protect the kitty there, and I'm going to protect my wording up there, and there is a splat there which I think I will use, and I'm going to use this turquoise color again. I've got very little paint on my brush, and there we go. And let's see what the page is looking like now. That's better, but I think we need, perhaps we need that down here. And because it's paint, I should be able to get it over this three-dimensional envelope that I've got going. So I'm just going to stencil in this corner down here, Jack corner, because one always needs to repeat stuff. Let's see what that looks like. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. So I now need something up there, but I don't want it really obvious to be using the same one all the time. So let's just uncover that one, and maybe we'll have a New York, or maybe we'll do that Paris one. Let's just have a look, see once I've got it. Maybe carte postale. Okay, let's have that Paris in that corner. And let's now protect this one. How much time have I got? 8 minutes. Ta-da! 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 Right. I need a little bit more there because knowing me, I will go over the edge. Because that is rather close to the edge there. And when you're working at speed, accidents happen. So a little bit more of this paint. That's too much, but yeah, the stencil storage is just an A4 folder. It does make life easy. Sorry, I've now got too much. Where's this hole? I keep looking for this hole. There it is. Oh my word, I just missed it earlier. Okay, let's get this Paris going. And okay, so now I'm working in a circular motion instead of tapping, but I know that I have a very dry brush and I know that it won't mess. And also, I'm not trying to be too perfect with these postal things because, you know, these postal cancellation stamp things are never perfect anyway. Not that they even do them now. I mean, this franking business they don't do anymore. But I still like it. I'm old school like that. There we go. Now we have a balanced page. Okay, let's pop this back. Push back and clear of the desk. Push back and clear, push back and clear. Right, have we got it all in? Yes, so now I've got my 3 circles. I have one envelope that is a bit isolated, but I rather like my envelope because when you open it, it's got the nice thing. And I have the blue eyes and the life is better with cats. I wonder if I did a drop shadow on that, if it would make it stand out a bit more. So I need my number 8 pen. Of course, when you need your number 8 pen is when you can't see it. I have a number 0.5. What is in here? 3. Okay. We'll just have to roll with my number 5 pen. No amount of tidying up is going to find it. So I'm going to, because I think this word cats, you guys can see it a lot clearer because there's a bit of writing behind there, is making it kind of interfered with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a drop shadow on the right hand side of everything and underneath everything so that helps to just pop it out of the page. There we go. That helps a lot. I do prefer that. Let me hold that up to the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Can you see that better? Can you see the drop shadow? Okay, so I'm just going to do that on the cats. I'm not going to do it with everything, because otherwise I will be here forever. Although I do rather like drop shadows. So maybe, how many minutes have I got? I've got 4 minutes. Maybe I'm going to make a drop shadow for my cat. Oh, talking of the cat. Hello, Mom. Are you talking? Where's Mom? Come say hello to everyone. Come. Hello. Why not? Yep. Stick your nose under there. There he is. Hello. No, don't sit on it. You're a bit big. Sit. Sit, Ubu. Sit. No. Sitting on my paper is not a good idea. Okay, sit on my lap. Sit on my lap. See, he's the same color. Hey, precious. Yes. You're going to talk? No talking. Okay, you'll just have to sit here and keep me company. I see. Look, he has brought with his claws pieces of my couch. Yes. Trashing my couch. You back on my desk. No. There's water on my desk in that direction. That is not a good idea, my angel. Come. Off you get. Sorry. Normally I'll get told off for taking him off. So, okay. So, I think I am done. I'm quite happy with this page. Life is better with cats, and I think my cat quite agree. Yes, Mr. Supervisor even had his own showing. Right. I know I was going to drop Shadow the cat. Mom is... Maybe I will do that quickly. What do I need? I need gray. I will have to do that off camera because I don't have... He doesn't really need it. I might play a little bit off camera with some drop shadows there and there and there on the cat, and then I will post a photograph on my Facebook page and on Instagram. So Anya, thanks Karen. Anya is next. She's put the link, so please go on to Anya. Don't forget to give likes to this video, please. And when you go to the next one, don't forget to give your likes. Start with your likes. I always do that. When I click on the person's page, I just go click like straight away. So an absolute pleasure, Graham. So it's been fun. I do enjoy these lives and the chats and getting to know everybody. Yes, Priscilla, it's perfect. And yes, so Disorganized Crafter, if you get hold of her, if you Google her, she has an Etsy store and you can get hold of her and message her and she can order you stuff. Karen from Karen Tamir also has connections and things, so if you can't find it where you are, contact her as well. Yeah, so a lot of crafters have they get like money back for you buying. It doesn't cost you anymore, but if you buy through their links, then they earn an income. So there are a lot of crafters who are doing that, so it's always good to support those links. And so yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all the thumbs up. It's been an awesome evening. I should have actually had him walk in some paint and then have genuine paw prints walking across the page. That can still happen. Don't you worry, Kim. Yes, so yeah, so it was just good that he chose a cat page to do his debut on YouTube. Thanks everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Lots of love. Head on over to Anya's page. Karen did put the link, and the link is under my video, so you can move on there. Bye everyone.